I've done a few shows now talking about like guys oftentimes will wait and they'll do this day-to-day thing where they're like, hey, well, I want to date a girl, but I'm not so sure I'm going to keep chasing up this particular girl. Or they'll say, I hate dating altogether. Women suck. And I'm going to wait until I get older and this and that. And so I had a very sobering reality this week that I didn't think would hit me as hard as it did, but it did. And so there was a woman that I dated a few years ago. We dated for like 5.5 months. During that time, we had a pretty good, what I considered at the time, dating relationship going on. And in the end, it didn't work out. There were some things about her personality that weren't going to gel with mine long term. So I had to end it. But I wish no ill will of anybody. And so we just kind of broke it off, and that was that. So I found out, though, this week that she passed away like 6 months ago. And the way she died was extremely tragic. I mean, for one, she was only 40 years old. I'm 39 now, so she was like a year and a few months older than me. But she was out walking her dog one morning, and she was going over a crosswalk, and this car ran a red light. Oh, sorry, not even a car. A pickup truck ran a red light and hit her. She flew in the air, got hit again, and then got ran over by the guy. And then he just drove off. And so it was just a really tragic thing. And when I found out about this, I felt this like overwhelming sadness come over me. Like, even though we hadn't talked in almost a year or so, and like, we didn't work out, but I didn't wish anything ill upon her. But just like at the time that we were dating, she was an entrepreneur. She had been a news journalist in the state that she lived in before she moved to California. And she had made all these plans of all these things that she wanted to do. And in that one sweeping moment, all that stuff just goes out the window. On top of, at the time that she died, she was also still single. So I bring this up because I think that sometimes as humans, we forget that our time on this earth is very finite, and that we do not have as much time as we think we possibly do. For all we know, you could be trying to plan your life now, and it could be gone tomorrow. But I bring this up because in reference to dating specifically, we oftentimes think that in our day-to-day, we're going to be here forever. And we forget that our day-to-day is slow, but we look up and look back like, oh my God, it's been X amount of years. Where's the time gone? And there's so much things that you need to do in order to be the right person to date, whether it's, changing your attitude about things, whether it's knowing how attraction works. And if you don't work on those things, you can't think that eventually you're going to just figure it out, because you could, but you could be working on that now instead of thinking you have all this time. And there's a lot of guys that will be, they'll be in their 20s and they'll say to themselves, well, I'll just deal with, dating and stuff like that when I get my 30s and 40s and 50s. A, you don't know if you'll live that long. And B, every moment that you waste is time that you could be getting better with skills and actually dating somebody today. Like, there are women today that would actually date you if you knew the right thing to do and how to be in order to get women. Okay. Now, also to this point, even though me and this woman did not work out, I always make it a point to try to be as respectful in my relationships as possible. And that includes when I'm ending a relationship, because you don't need to leave somebody on bad terms. I don't think that that's the thing that you need to do. I think that you can break up with somebody and say, hey, these are things that don't gel with me, but ultimately it's for the best. But more importantly, to you guys that are watching this, I see so many guys say things like, well, I don't want to date this girl long term. I just want to hit it and quit it. Or, well, she might not be the right one for me right now, but I'm going to just deal with it in the meantime because, whatever. Recognize that when you do that, not only are you wasting your time, but you're also wasting the woman's time. And women are also on this earth for a finite amount of time, and they do not deserve to have their time wasted either. So if you are looking at a woman and you realize that, as much as you may want to hook up with her or do like a one-night thing or whatever, that you're already seeing that this is not going to be a long-term prospect for you, maybe not err on the side of dating that person, because it's not fair to them. Like, there are plenty of women out there that will, to you, seem like a longer-term prospect, and those are the women you should really be paying attention to. That you should not be wasting a woman's time, because women, they have their own things going on, and the worst thing you could be doing is wasting a woman's time when you already know that you don't want to get with her. And again, you're wasting your time too. And we aren't on this earth for a long period of time. When you get to the end of your life cycle, it doesn't matter how many hookups you had, how many women you got with. All that's going to matter is what memories did you leave with other people here, and did you treat people with respect to where they remember you? And if you're not doing that, then that is not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to the other person, and it's not fair. Okay. And I just really thought about that because it just really hit me. I didn't realize how hard it would hit me when I heard that news. And I was just like, man, like this, again, we weren't dating anymore, but I just knew how much stuff she had going for her life, and I just felt so bad about that. So hopefully you've learned something from something I just said about all that.